Hey everyone, when you go on Medicare, you will have different cards, and you will carry these cards with you, and you'll present these cards to providers when you need healthcare. Now, depending on the plans that you get, you could have several different cards, and the cards that you show your provider matter. This video will help both those on Medicare as well as healthcare workers who are involved in the billing because things can get a little bit confusing. I'll cover the two most common routes for people on Medicare: Original Medicare with a supplement plan, also known as supplemental or Medigap plans, all the same thing, and Medicare Advantage plans, definitely not the same thing. Let's start with Original Medicare and a supplement plan first. If you go this route, you will have your red, white, and blue Medicare card. You will want to have a copy of this on your person at all times. Medicare is billed first. If you visit a doctor, they will send the bill to Original Medicare first. You will have a separate Medicare supplement plan card that will look different. Many will say which plan you have, whether that's a supplement plan G or a plan N or whichever supplement plan you chose. It will also have the insurance company's logo on it, and this is where things get a little bit weird. For most of your life, you've had insurance through a private insurance company. That private insurance company has a network of providers that agree to work with this insurance company. There are many providers who do not work with every insurance company. So what you may run into, and something that our clients ask about often, is when you are now on Original Medicare with a supplement plan, your doctor's office may not work with the insurance company that offers your supplement plan. We hear from offices all the time that will tell our supplement plan clients, we don't work with that insurance company. However, in most cases, they actually do. To better understand this, we need to understand how providers and Medicare work together. When a facility or a provider sets up the practice, they have three options when it comes to Medicare. The first, they can participate with Medicare. This means that they agree to accept the Medicare fee schedule. This is the dollar amount that Medicare says that it will pay for the Medicare-approved services that a provider or a facility will render. Medicare participating providers make up 97% of all non-pediatric providers and facilities across the country. The second option is they can choose to not participate with Medicare. These providers and facilities do not accept the Medicare determined payments as their full payment for their services. However, they do still agree that they can only charge 15% more than the Medicare fee schedule. That 15% charge would be your responsibility, and it is called an excess charge. 2% of all of the non-pediatric facilities and providers in the United States fall into this category. Finally, the last option, number 3, available to providers and facilities, is to opt out of Medicare completely. This means that they do not work with Medicare and they will not bill Medicare. Their services are direct contracts between them and you. They can charge whatever they want, and these charges are not negotiated with Medicare. This makes up 1% of all non-pediatric providers and facilities across the country. So the reason all of that mattered is because if you have Original Medicare and a supplement plan, unless your provider is part of that third category and is opted out of Medicare completely, they will need to bill the insurance company that has your supplement plan, even if your provider does not work with that insurance company outside of the Medicare system. You will need to remind them that this is a Medicare billing procedure, not a commercial insurance procedure, and the supplement plan will pay secondary to Medicare based on the Medicare supplement plan rules. Real quick, not all supplement plan letters cover that excess charge. In fact, most don't, with the exception of the two that really apply in these days with F and G. But even if your provider is in that second category, your supplement plan will pay some of that charge. If you are watching this and you work in a doctor's office, hopefully this helps you with the billing practices. Original Medicare and the supplement plan will pay for Medicare-approved procedures. Bill both, even if you don't normally accept the supplement plan insurance company outside of Medicare. All right, a couple more things to cover on the Original Medicare and supplement plan side of things. Original Medicare and supplement plans do not cover prescription drugs, dental, vision, or hearing. Now you can get these plans separately and they will have their own premiums and their own ID cards. So you may have to carry around your Medicare card and your supplement plan card, show these to providers who help you with hospital and medical services. You'll carry around your prescription drug plan card, use this at the pharmacy. Your dental card, use this at your dentist's office. Your vision card, use this with your optometrist. And your hearing benefit card to use with your audiologist. Some insurance companies will cover all of these, so maybe it's only a couple of cards that have multiple plans on them, or they could be all with different insurance companies, and you'll need to make sure that you aren't giving your dental card to your pharmacist. By giving the wrong card to the provider, it will mean that bills are not going to be paid, and they're going to come back to you for the money, and then you'll have to send it back through the correct card and insurance company. It can be annoying, so understanding your cards is important. Now let's shift over to the Medicare Advantage plan side. Medicare Advantage plans replace original Medicare, so you're no longer showing your red, white, and blue card. You will just show your providers your Advantage plan card from the private insurance company that you chose. Advantage plans can have ancillary benefits that are built into them, so you would show the same card, the individual card, to your hospital and medical providers, your pharmacist, your dentist, your optometrist, and your audiologist if your plan has those benefits. Now, something that you need to be aware of here is that Advantage plans have networks. Providers are not falling into those same 3 categories that we discussed on original Medicare. You could very well visit a provider and that provider does not work with the Advantage plan insurance company that you picked. You will want to check and make sure that your providers participate with your plans, regardless of supplement or Advantage. But with the Advantage plan, if the provider says that they don't work with your insurance company, in this case, they are probably correct, different than the supplement plan. We live in the Medicare world, so throwing around supplement plans and Advantage plans and Part D plans, dental, vision, and others is something that we do daily. We have a lot of conversations with people who can't remember which option they chose because it was years ago and they've been healthy and they haven't needed to use their benefits until they do. So if you aren't sure which one that you have, you can look at your ID cards. If you have multiple ID cards from insurance companies that have things like supplement on it, RX for prescriptions, dental, vision, and others, and they are all separate from each other, you probably have a supplement plan. If you're only carrying around one ID card that would have the words on it like hospital, medical, RX, dental, and others, you probably have an Advantage plan. All right, if this was helpful, click on the thumbs up button. Maybe consider subscribing to our channel for more on Medicare, Social Security, and others. For more on the differences between the 2 plans, Advantage and supplement plans, check out our other videos. If you have Medicare questions or you would like help deciding which plans to get, feel free to reach out to us on 90daysfromretirement.com, or you can send me an email. I put it in the description of this video. Thank you for making it this far, and I will see you in the next video.